Hey, bro, you want to talk about me? Nigga talking about bad. What you talking about? I ain't got no tummy tuck. My shit flapping.
Finesse, he was saying something like these rappers getting what'd he say, bodies.
Something about a tummy tuck. Yeah, he most definitely. I think he most definitely threw a shot. They saying that he probably be talking about bag. Nah, you ain't talking about bag. A bag sharing in music.
Pooh Shiesty just touched back down from federal prison and wasted no time lighting a match that set all of Memphis on fire. His return wasn't quiet, it wasn't humble, and it definitely wasn't peaceful. It sparked one of the messiest, most controversial rap beefs of 2025, with the city instantly choosing sides behind his comeback. Pooh Shiesty dropped a line so reckless, so disrespectful, that it shook the whole scene to its core. That single bar left one of Memphis's most respected rappers feeling straight up violated. And the wild part? The real reason behind this tension goes way deeper than music. We're talking whispers of plastic surgery accusations, complicated prison politics, and family loyalty being tested under pressure. This situation is messy, emotional, and dangerous enough to threaten the entire Memphis rap ecosystem. We're about to break down some real Memphis street drama that's had the hip-hop world locked in ever since Pooh Shiesty unleashed that lyrical shot the moment he stepped back into the spotlight in early 2025. The streets instantly started buzzing, timelines went wild, and narratives started flying everywhere. Social media have been pushing the story that Pooh Shiesty came home from federal prison just to instantly go at Finesse2Tymes. But slow down. Not everything online is facts. We're here to separate what's real from what's exaggerated and what's straight up made up. Early 2025 marked a turning point. Pooh Shiesty was fresh out, supposed to be enjoying freedom when he dropped First Day Out and slipped in a line that had Memphis divided overnight. And now, this isn't just another friendly rap back and forth. This situation dives straight into real street politics, deep family ties, and heavy allegations that could ruin reputations and shut careers down for good. And this is where things turn extra spicy. No exaggeration. So peep this. Pooh Shiesty drops his First Day Out record in early 2025 and sneaks in a line that had everybody freezing up. I heard street dudes getting tummy tucks. Told you these rappers lame. That line hit like a slap to the face. In Memphis street rap culture, calling somebody out over plastic surgery ain't small talk. That's questioning their toughness, their image, and their whole reputation at once. The second that song dropped, the internet exploded. We're talking millions of views almost instantly. Timelines flooded and every platform buzzing nonstop. Memphis bloggers went into detective mode, breaking down exactly who Pooh Shiesty could have been aiming at. That bar wasn't random, it wasn't careless. It was sharp, intentional, and aimed to hit where it hurt the most. Everybody felt that tension. Now Finesse2Tymes, keeping it solid, initially played it cool in interviews. He straight up said, "I don't know. It's funny to me, but the internet gonna take it and do what they want to do with it." He tried brushing it off, saying the song wasn't about him at all. That was grown man energy, no doubt. He wasn't trying to pour gasoline on the situation. But here's what a lot of people miss. Memphis politics don't work the same as everywhere else. When you've been locked inside federal prison like Pooh Shiesty was, all your info comes secondhand. You're hearing about beefs, tension, and rumors through phone calls, letters, and short visits, never the full picture. So when you finally touch back down, your mindset can be shaped by outdated stories or half-truths that never got cleared up. That alone can twist how you see people and situations. But this story goes way deeper than slick lines in a song. Here's where things really start getting messy. Finesse2Tymes' own camp began stirring the conversation behind the scenes. His brother went on record in an interview and basically confirmed that Pooh Shiesty was throwing shots directly at Finesse. When your own family is saying, "Yeah, that was a diss," the whole situation shifts instantly. That kind of pressure hits different. Now it's not about random comments online, it's about how your own blood sees it. In Memphis, that matters heavy. Family voices carry weight, and once they speak, staying quiet starts looking like weakness to outsiders. And in Memphis street culture, plastic surgery talk cuts deep. It's not just about looks, it's about questioning someone's authenticity, their image, and whether they really live the life they rap about. When Pooh Shiesty said, "street dudes getting tummy tucks," the message sounded like, these dudes not really built like they claim. And in Memphis, that's straight fighting words. But here's the twist. Finesse flipped the narrative completely. He claimed Pooh Shiesty wasn't talking about him at all. He said the bar was aimed at Moneybagg Yo instead. And to see why that angle even makes sense, you gotta dig into the long-running Big 30 and Moneybagg Yo tension that's been dividing Memphis for years. Let's break down this Big 30 situation clearly. because this beef runs way deeper than most people even realize. Big 30 and Moneybagg Yo weren't always at odds. At one point, they were locked in tight. Big 30 was signed under Moneybag's Bread Gang umbrella through CMG, dropping records together, sharing stages, and building serious momentum for Memphis hip-hop as a unit. But everything shifted after a tragic loss in January 2022 that changed the energy forever. According to Big 30's side, his cousin Nusky was deeply involved in handling pressure around the camp, allegedly stepping in during tense street situations that others didn't want to deal with. The claim is that Moneybagg was facing serious issues in the city, and Big 30 along with Nusky were brought close to help shield him from that heat. Nusky wasn't just an associate, he was family to Big 30, and people around the city described him as very active and respected in his environment. January 28th, 2022 became a date that reshaped everything. That night, Nusky had just left a local performance where Big 30 was showing love and support. Family business, pure and simple. Just hours later, Nusky was found shot multiple times in the Whitehaven area where he grew up. The same streets that raised him became the place his life was taken, and that pain hit close to home for everyone involved. Now here's where things turned cold and disrespectful in Big 30's eyes. After Nusky passed, Moneybagg Yo posted broken heart emojis on social media. To outsiders it looked sympathetic, but to Big 30, that response felt hollow and careless, and that moment cracked the foundation of their relationship beyond repair. Moneybagg Yo was online acting hurt, acting crushed, posting like the loss really shook him. But when it was time for the funeral, he was nowhere to be seen. And in street culture, that speaks louder than any emoji ever could. Claiming someone is family but not showing up to say goodbye is viewed as a serious violation. To many, that made all that online love look performative and empty. Big 30 felt a deep sense of betrayal. From his perspective, he and his cousin stood in the line of pressure, helped bring respect to Moneybagg's name in the city, and made his brand move different in Memphis. But when it was time to show real loyalty, Big 30 says, Moneybagg vanished. That absence changed everything and flipped their relationship upside down. According to Big 30, they helped elevate Moneybagg's status, but once his cousin was gone over what he called that lame situation, Moneybagg didn't even show up to the service. That moment planted a seed that later grew into full-blown hostility. This is also where the plastic surgery talk first exploded. Big 30 went straight at Moneybagg on his record, "How could you?" saying, "I work out and go lose weight. Ain't no way I'm paying a doctor to redo my face." That line was a direct response to rumors floating around about cosmetic procedures. The message was clear. In his eyes, real street figures earn respect through life experience, not image upgrades. Moneybagg couldn't ignore that kind of call-out. He fired back with airball, and the tone was ruthless. He accused Big 30 of moving shady, claimed he was trying to cut side deals, and said Big 30 was exaggerating the story for sympathy. Moneybagg insisted he had done more for Big 30 than people knew. The most brutal moment came when Moneybagg demanded Big 30 return the Bread Gang chain. That wasn't just jewelry. That was a public statement saying Big 30 no longer represented the brand or the movement. Now this is where we gotta address the elephant sitting right in the middle of the room. If Pooh Shiesty was really aiming that tummy tuck bar at Moneybagg Yo, then explain this. Why did Moneybagg repost the song on Instagram and tag Pooh Shiesty directly? And why did Pooh Shiesty repost Moneybagg's post right back showing public love? That type of back and forth doesn't line up with real smoke at all. But here's the part that has everybody scratching their head. There's a strong chance Pooh Shiesty wrote that line while he was still locked up in federal prison. At that exact time, Big 30 was already deep in conflict with Moneybagg Yo. From behind bars, Pooh Shiesty would have been hearing everything through phone calls, letters, and visits. And that kind of info always comes filtered through whoever's talking to you. When you're locked up, your whole view of the outside world is shaped by your people. If your circle tells you someone's moving funny, that's the story you're running with. That context matters heavy here. And for anyone who knows the culture, Pooh Shiesty and Big 30 go way back. They're founding members of CHO Gang, connected long before the music industry ever came calling. These dudes were tight from a young age, moving together in South Memphis, building bonds before fame was even a thought. When your day one is beefing with somebody, loyalty kicks in automatically. That's street loyalty 101. It doesn't stop just because you're behind bars or in a different situation. CHO Gang wasn't just a rap label or a music clique. It was a real-life brotherhood built on shared history and survival. Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, Lil Hank, and others built a serious reputation in South Memphis, and those ties don't disappear overnight. That loyalty explains a lot more than people want to admit. So when Big 30 felt disrespected by Moneybagg Yo, that tension didn't stop with just one person. It spilled over to the whole circle, including Pooh Shiesty. In those environments, disrespect toward one member is seen as disrespect toward everybody connected. That's just how crews move in Memphis, no shortcuts. Now Finesse2Tymes has actually been consistent and calm through all this, and that deserves credit. In interviews, he's openly said he rocks with Pooh Shiesty's music and respects him as an artist. He even admitted, "I made a song when I was in my feelings, but I don't feel no type of way now. It was funny."
Finesse, he was saying something like these rappers getting, what'd he say, bodies?
Something about a tummy tuck. Yeah, he most definitely, I think he most definitely do a shot. They saying that he probably be talking about bag. Nah, you ain't talking about bag. A bag sharing in music.
That's grown man energy for real, showing he's not trying to turn tension into chaos. But here's where everything shifted hard. His brother stepping in and doing that interview changed the entire temperature. Once family members start saying, "Yeah, that bar was aimed at you," the situation becomes way heavier. At that point, it's not just internet chatter, it's blood speaking. When your own people confirm you got dissed, it puts you in a tight spot. Now it's about respect, image, and how you're seen in the streets. The pressure to respond doesn't come from strangers. It comes from your own circle asking, "So what's the move?" From what's being whispered, this situation could swing multiple ways. Pooh Shiesty could have been talking about Finesse, could have been talking about Moneybagg, or could have been throwing a wide net at both. That's the danger of subliminal lines. They spark confusion, speculation, and unnecessary tension. And another major detail people overlook, Pooh Shiesty just came home from federal prison. When you're on federal supervision, every move matters, every word counts, and things can't go left without serious consequences. You can't just be out here sparking beef and shaking tables when the feds are watching every step you take. When you're fresh home and under supervision, every move is magnified. So it's very possible that bar wasn't meant to kick off a war at all. It might have just been Pooh Shiesty speaking on how he feels about the culture in general, not aiming at one specific person. Now let's talk industry reality for a second. Finesse2Tymes is already solidified. He's built his own label, his own movement, and he's respected all across the South. Pooh Shiesty, on the other hand, is in rebuild mode after being locked up, trying to get his momentum back the right way. Truth is, neither one of them actually needs this kind of drama. But the streets don't always care about what makes business sense. And if you don't really understand Memphis street culture, this part matters heavy. Memphis is a small city. Everybody knows everybody, and word travels fast. When you diss one person, it doesn't stop there. It touches their crew, their people, their family, and their reputation all at once. This city has already lost too much talent to beef and street politics, so situations like this are always dangerous territory. That's why folks take subliminals so serious around here. And when it comes to cosmetic surgery, that topic hits a nerve in street culture. It's often seen as going against the code. In those environments, scars are viewed as proof of experience, not something to erase. When people start talking about tummy tucks or face work, others question authenticity and whether someone still stands on the same principles they came up on. It's all about image, respect, and staying true to where you're from. Another key thing people often miss is how time in prison changes your perspective. When you're locked up for years, all the information you get is secondhand, through letters, phone calls, or visits. By the time you get back out, your understanding of beefs or situations might already be outdated or missing pieces. That means Pooh Shiesty could have been responding to old drama that had already cooled off in Memphis. In street culture, loyalty usually trumps business. Even if there's money to be made, if someone disrespected your people, that business relationship doesn't stand a chance. That's why this situation is so tangled. It's not just about bars and a song. It's about real-life respect, relationships, and loyalty that's been built over years. Social media also flips the game on these situations. Back in the day, disputes stayed in the streets and were handled personally. Now, every line, every verse gets dissected online. Fans pick sides, rumors spread, and the pressure escalates before the artists even have a chance to respond. That instant exposure can turn something that might have been handled quietly into full-blown drama. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about subliminal bars. It's about how these artists navigate their careers while balancing the streets, their reputation, and the law. Pooh Shiesty just got out and is trying to rebuild his momentum. He's got the talent, the streets are behind him, but he also has to be strategic with every move because he's on federal supervision. Every step counts, and one wrong move could cost way more than clout. Finesse2Tymes is in a whole different position. He's established, respected, and running his own movement. But in Memphis, respect is everything. If people feel like you got dissed and didn't respond the right way, it can seriously affect how you're seen both in the streets and in the industry. That's why situations like this are so delicate. One wrong move, and your image takes a hit. Now the fact that Moneybagg Yo reposted Pooh Shiesty's song adds even more layers. Either Pooh Shiesty wasn't really talking about him, or they've quietly moved past their issues. But don't forget, the streets don't forget anything, and that simmering Big 30 beef is still lurking under the surface. Moneybagg reposting could also be a power move, showing he's unbothered and won't let some bars shake him. This drama also affects how other Memphis artists have to navigate the scene. If you're tight with both Pooh Shiesty and Finesse2Tymes, you could be forced to pick a side. That's how beef spreads and pulls in people who had nothing to do with the original conflict, just because of their connections and alliances. For Pooh Shiesty specifically, being on federal supervision makes every action count. If this beef escalates and turns violent, he could end up back behind bars. That reality has to guide every decision he makes moving forward. The burning question now is, where does this story go from here? With so many layers, loyalty, respect, and street politics, every move could change the game for everyone involved. Pooh Shiesty is in a tricky spot right now. He's got momentum off his release. His music is blowing up, and the streets are riding with him. But at the same time, he has to be strategic. One wrong move, and he's back in federal prison. Finesse2Tymes seems to be keeping it calm and peaceful. But with all the pressure from his people and the streets, Pooh Shiesty might feel forced to respond more aggressively if things escalate. In hip-hop, sometimes staying silent is seen as weakness, even when speaking out could be bad for business. Memphis hip-hop shines brightest when artists work together, not against each other. The city has already lost too many talented people to beef and street politics. The legacies of Young Dolph, King Von, and other Memphis figures show just how quickly these conflicts can spiral into something deadly. This drama also highlights the bigger picture for Memphis hip-hop. The city is finally getting the national attention it deserves. Artists like Moneybagg Yo, Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and Finesse2Tymes are all putting Memphis on the map. But when internal beef takes center stage, it can distract from the music and stunt the growth of the scene. At its core, this situation shows just how complicated Memphis street politics are. It's never just about a rap beef. It's about loyalty, respect, family ties, and knowing how to navigate relationships when everybody knows everybody. Federal supervision, industry moves, and social media pressure collide, creating a high-stakes environment where even small actions can carry massive consequences. Behind the tough talk and street credibility, the balance between survival and success is razor thin. These are real people with real relationships and real consequences. Pooh Shiesty is just trying to rebuild his career and take care of his family, while Finesse2Tymes is focused on protecting his respect and continuing to build his empire. Neither one of them probably wanted all this drama, but in Memphis, sometimes the culture demands it, and every word carries weight. Whether Pooh was calling out Finesse2Tymes, Moneybagg Yo, or just speaking on the culture in general, one thing is crystal clear. Words in this city have power and serious consequences. Every bar, every line gets dissected, and every verse can shift relationships forever. Hopefully cooler heads prevail, and this doesn't spiral into something that can't be fixed. Memphis has too much talent and potential to be wasted on internal beef. The real enemies are poverty, lack of opportunities, and systems designed to keep people trapped. These artists have the power to uplift the city and the culture, not tear each other down. Now it's your turn, fam. What do you think about this situation? Was Pooh Shiesty really dissing Finesse2Tymes, or was it aimed somewhere else? How should this all be handled moving forward? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what side of the streets you're on. And don't forget to join the Rap Uncovered family. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, smash that like button, and share this video with all your homeboys. The streets never sleep, and we're just getting started. There are way more stories to uncover. We drop heat every single day, and tomorrow's upload is going to be even crazier, deeper, and absolutely unmissable. We'll catch you in the next one right here at Rap Uncovered, where the truth of the streets lives. Stay smart, stay loyal, and remember, sometimes the realest move is knowing when not to respond.
Perfect.